Hey guys, it's Jane. Happy New Year. Last video I posted was toward the end of October, and then of course with the holidays and everything, things got a little busy, so I wasn't able to post a new video for November. So I figured I would just wait until the end of the year to give you guys an update. We're losing daylight quickly, so I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as I can, but I might break this up into two videos just because there's a lot to go over. So as always, I'll just be going over my haul of everything that I've purchased since the last video, and then I'll post a solds update at the end just to show you everything that has sold since the last one as well. And you'll have to excuse my voice. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but I'm on the opposite end of it now, so I'll be all right. So yeah, let's get to it. So firstly, I wanted to show you the lamp that I had purchased at Goodwill. I told you in the last video that by the next video you would be able to see it lit up. This was the lamp that I purchased at Goodwill for $15. That was the Stengel lamp, and I have since been able to get it rewired and purchase new bulbs for that. So I wanted to go ahead and show you what that looks like. So, and excuse the mess, because we've had to reorganize things because of the holidays and all that, but here she is. There's the lamp that I purchased. Early 20th century Stengel green pottery lamp. And then I got some Edison bulbs, which are the new version. The guy told me they don't really do the traditional Edison anymore, so they are LED. But I just think they look really nice. It's got the new pull cords on it, and it works great. So yeah, as I said in my last video, I was debating whether or not I was going to get a shade for it, and I think I just like it like this. So I'll probably just keep it that way until I decide to sell it. So yeah, I think that came out really nice. Now I'll take you back over to all of the things, and we'll go from there. So, let's see. The first couple of things I got for free from a group that I follow on Facebook. Just people who give stuff away they no longer want. And usually I wait to see if anybody else wants them, and then if there's no takers, I'll go ahead and take them. So the first couple of things are this beautiful vintage needlepoint pillow, which I thought would be great for Christmas time. And let me try to get it more toward the light. I know the lighting kind of is crazy in here because right now we just have our Christmas lights and this lamp is not hooked up. But so yeah, it's just a beautiful red pillow. I'm actually going to go over toward the window so you can see the colors better. Yeah, it's just got this beautiful red in it and really beautiful detailed needlework. And there were no issues with it at all. And I just thought that would look nice on the couch. And the back of it is like just a plain red velvet. So yeah, I thought that was great. And if I was going to sell that, that would probably be anywhere from the realm of $75 to $100, because it's just, you know, it's all about like the detail of the work, and obviously the age of it and the condition of it, all of that factors in. But yeah, I definitely wanted that for the holidays, so that was a great find. And then the next thing I got that was also free was a Italian hand-painted canister set. I'm not going to dig that out for you right now, but I am going to post a picture right here just so you can see what it looks like. And I just picked it up just because it was Italian, number one, so I have a big thing about Italian ceramics. And number two, you know, again, nobody really seemed interested, so I didn't want that to just go to waste or have her throw it away or something. So I picked that up, and that would probably go for around $45 to $50 if I was going to sell that as well. So I'll post a picture for you there. So then the next bit of things is from a trip that I took at the church thrift store that I go to in Edgewater. That is one of my more frequent ones that I visit, just because the pricing is so reasonable there. Especially compared to like a regular thrift store like Goodwill, you can always find a lot of good stuff for really cheap. So I ended up walking away spending $23 there with about 22 items. Or actually, I think it was 24 items. So things average out to be less than $1 per item there. And we'll go over that. And again, I'm sorry about how dark it is in here, but hopefully you'll be able to see things as I hold them up to the camera a little bit better. First was just this group of postcards, I think, and just regular little cards I saw. So there was like a whole grouping of them in there. And I got those for real cheap. And I don't know if I'll lot them up later on for the holidays next year, or if I'll do them individually. But I was looking online and I couldn't really exactly find anything exactly like these. But I just thought they were nice. And they had, different holiday ones, like with Christmas presents on them. And then this woman hanging a wreath that I thought was cool. And then like some little creature ones. So they have one with like a mouse and a frog. And then this little, I guess he's like a, I don't know, I guess like a, not a porcupine. What am I looking for? I don't remember the name of that guy. But anyway, he's hanging out on a tree branch there. Possum, that's what I was looking for, possum. And then you got a Santa Claus looking one. And then some cardinals. And like a little stocking. Hang on a second, guys. I think I am going to try to get the lighting a little bit better in here for you. 1 second. Okay, that's a little better. Sorry. I decided to turn off the Christmas lights and just plug the lamp back in. So that's a little bit better, hopefully. So yeah, anyway, back to these. So yeah, just little Christmassy themed papers. They've got these perforations on them that divide them up into 3 sections. I don't really know how you would use that. I'm thinking maybe you would fold it into like a standing card almost, but I'm not really sure. I tried to look online, I couldn't really find any like these. So, yeah, if I was going to lot those out, I'd probably do, $15 to $18 for those. And if I was going to do them separately, maybe $3 a piece kind of thing. And then I also found these little Cheddar & Co. holiday-themed cards from Hallmark. And they're just these little mice that I thought were really cute. So yeah, so that was the first thing I picked up there. And then also these little vintage like shower cards came with that as well. No big deal, but I just thought those were cool. And then the next thing I found was a few ornaments, which I went ahead and put on my tree just because they were cool enough and they weren't like valuable enough. I figured it would be worth to resell, but I wanted to put them on my tree. So I got this little moon Santa guy and this little metal angel with the horn. So I thought that she was cool. And I also picked up a little Christmas spider, which if you've never heard of the legend of the Christmas spider, you should read into that. That one I got on eBay, but I figured I'd show you that as well, because that was new this year. So yeah, there's just a few little ornaments I found there for the tree. Let's see, what else? The next thing was this Mexican pottery bowl. I just picked it up because I thought it was nice. And it's got this sunflower in it. And this really nice glaze on top with almost what looks like peacock feathers. So I thought that was cool. It didn't have any kind of signatures on the bottom, but it's got these 3 little feet on the bottom there. And there wasn't any kind of damage to that or anything. So I picked that up. And that's about a $20 value if I was going to sell that. Next thing, unfortunately I couldn't find the pieces that go with this, but this is a California pottery bowl, and these come with, they're supposed to come with different sectioned leaf plates that go around it, and then the center bowl would be this one, almost like a serving set. So you would put like your dip in here, and then each of the little leaves on the side would have like chips or other kind of appetizers or whatever. But yeah, they didn't have any of the other plates there. They only had the one bowl. So that's like about a $15 to $20 value just by itself. So I thought that was nice, and maybe somebody could use a replacement for that. The next thing was these, and they're kind of stumping me because they look like they could be Costa Boda, which I've talked about before in other videos. I've sold and purchased Costa Boda before, but all kinds of different glass makers make this design with this white swirl inside, and these also didn't have the mark on the bottom that I'm used to seeing with Costa Boda pieces, so I'm not 100% on that, but I think that these are both candle holders. So I think this one, because of the fact that it's got like the 3 feet on the bottom, I think this is for a pillar candle, and then this one would be for a votive. So if I was going to sell those, that would be about a $30 value. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether or not that's Costa Boda. It could be Party Light too, or it could be, there's another one called something Occasions or something like that, so that could also be it. I'm not 100% sure. The next one was just this one single Fiesta salt or pepper shaker. I have a couple of these myself that I use regularly for my kitchen, and I know people are always looking for certain colors. This one's like a periwinkle blue, and I noticed it didn't have any damage or anything like that, and by itself it can go for around $10, so I figured I'd pick that up as well. Let's see, just want to look at my list to make sure I don't forget anything. Next thing was this Holly Hobby vase. So some of you might be familiar with Holly Hobby, but she's definitely 1970s. This one, I thought it was nice because again, it didn't have any damage or anything like that, and it's definitely from the 70s. It says, "Always take the time to say what's in your heart." And she's sitting there with her little cat at her desk. And yeah, it's got like a little hole in the back for you to hang it up on your wall. I just thought it was nice, and I didn't want to leave it behind. Those don't really have a terribly high resale value, but you know, $12 to $15. So for less than $1, I figured why not. The next thing was this wood turn candle holder. I'm a sucker for wood things, and I just didn't want to leave it behind. Again, I was kind of bummed that there was only a single holder there, but I just figured it was nice enough to where somebody might want it. And then also, along the same vein, was these bud vases, and they're very delicate, thin glass. So I'll be kind of a nervous wreck when I ship them, whenever that is, but I just thought they were cool. The shape was cool on the bottom here, and then it's got these little dainty like petal looking design on the top, and you just stick one flower in there. So if I was going to sell those, I'd probably sell them as a set, so that's probably about a $25 value as well. Next was just this little square glass jar with a cork top. Again, not a high resale value on that, but I thought it was nice. So that's probably like an $8 to $10 piece, no big deal. And then this little candle holder. I just thought it was cute. It's got this little lid on it, and you put the candle here. It's even got this little handle to make it look like an old jug, and it's got like fruits on it. So that was cool. Let's see. Next thing was this tin, which I'm probably going to be keeping for myself just because I thought it was super cool. And again, it doesn't really have a high resale value specifically, but I'm a big music person, and I have like a whole music section on the other side of the room here. So I'm just going to hang this, or set this up on display, I mean. So this is Victor, his master's voice, which is, you know, one of the original Victrola brands. And it didn't really have any significant damage that I saw. It's got a couple scratches on the top there, and then it does have a slight dent in it on that side. So, but yeah, I just thought that was neat. So I'll just set that up on my music display. Let's see. The next thing was a couple of coffee mugs, which I have a coffee mug problem, and it drives my husband nuts because we constantly have to be like figuring out where we're going to fit all of these, and then, you know, sometimes I'll cycle out different mugs to buy new ones, but these were nice enough I didn't want to walk away. So this one is by a brand called Place and Time from Joann Fabrics, and it's like this burnt orange color. It says "So Good to Be Home," and it's got like this speckled design to it, and I thought it was real nice because the lettering isn't painted on, it's like etched in there, so I know that's not gonna like wash away. So that's about a $12 value. And then I don't know if I've talked about Ray Dunn before on this channel or not. Ray Dunn has kind of gone up and down in value. People were going nuts for it for a while, but now it's finally getting to the point where the market is like over flooded with it, and it doesn't really have a big resale value depending on the pieces that you get. So I can probably post a picture of some comps for you here on some of the higher sold valued items. Usually that would be like serving pieces or rarer like holiday pieces. So there are some good ones you can still look out for now, but in general, Ray Dunn, the value has gone down. And I personally am not a fan of Ray Dunn, specifically the large letter design, which is what this is. But for this specific mug, I couldn't pass this up. I just liked the fact that it said Nope on it, because my humor is like that, and the fact that it was black. Usually these pieces are like white and they have the black lettering, and I'm just not really generally a fan, but I liked this mug enough to take it with me. So again, that's about a $12 value as well, so I'll probably be reselling that after I use it for a little bit. Okay, so the next thing I found there was this really nice glass candy dish, which originally, when we had a candy dish, we were keeping our candy in a old refrigerator dish, like a clear glass Fire King refrigerator dish, but the top that came with it was chipped. So every time you would like move on the kitchen table, it would like rattle, and it was driving me nuts. So anyway, I found this one at the little thrift store there, and there was no damage to it at all. And it's got this like cross and button pattern to it, and it's got the little lid with it and everything. It was kind of grungy when I bought it, but I washed it and it came out pretty nice. So that is from a brand called KIG out of Indonesia. So that's vintage as well. Nothing too special, but I mean, if I was going to sell that, that would be about a $15 value. So yeah, we're using that as a candy dish right now on our kitchen table. And then I just have a few more things to show you from that thrift store, and then we'll move to the next one. Okay, so I brought you into my kitchen to show you this one because it's actually hanging up on display. And really the only reason I picked this up was because it was vintage and it miraculously didn't have any damage to it. But it's just, I'm sure some of you have seen these before. It's literally a rope with ceramic vegetables on it. And I've had relatives that have hung these in their kitchen before that I can remember from when I was a kid. So it was just kind of nostalgic for me. But it's got an eggplant, an ear of corn, a tomato, a carrot, avocado, chili pepper, onion, radish, I think, and then a green pepper on the bottom. So I just figured I'd hang that in here and hold on to that until I got tired of it. But I thought that was pretty cool. And if I was going to sell that, that would be about a $25 to $30 value. Okay, so the last couple of things from that thrift store are the most exciting finds. This first thing is a salt and pepper set that I picked up there. And when I picked it up, I didn't really think much of it. I just said, oh, that's a nice looking set. And it's got like this beautiful blue butterfly. And then on the other one, it's got a hummingbird. And I love butterflies and I love hummingbirds. So I thought that was nice enough to pick up. And it's got this really beautiful gold detailing around some of the areas. Like it's got it on the edge there. And then on some of the leaves. And I just really liked the detail. And they didn't have any markings or anything like that. But when I took them home and did research, I was shocked. So I'm going to put a comp up for you on the screen here so you can see. There's only one other person that has them online right now. And they're asking like $68 plus shipping from some other country. I'm not sure where, but the shipping's like $30. And so mine is the only other set online right now. And then the only other place that I can see them is on replacements.com for $100 for a salt and pepper shaker set. So that is nuts. I was very excited about that. So we'll have to see what happens with those. Very, very exciting. So yeah, Villeroy and Boch is a really high-end, nice brand of dinnerware, and they have like decor as well. So that specific set, I think, is called like, again, I'll show you the comp, so it'll probably have the name up there, but it's like Amazonia or something. So the pieces from that set, you'll have to look for that, because they can go for good money. And then I'm going to show you the last thing from that store, which is one of my more exciting finds for this go-round. Okay, so I brought it over on the couch so you can get a little bit of a closer look at it. Again, I picked this up. This is a lamp, okay? So I picked it up. I could see that it had the cord and the little switch there. And it's just like this round white lamp, and I thought it looked cool, you know? But, again, didn't think much of it. Got it for a couple of bucks at the thrift store. Took it home, did some research. You can find ones like this from like IKEA but that's not what this is. And judging by the age of the cord and the hardware on the bottom, it tells me that this is entirely something different. So what I found this to be in my research is a lamp by Paul Mayen. And he was an architect who actually did some of the work on Frank Lloyd Wright's house, Falling Water. So he was a designer and an architect. So he designed this lamp, and it's like an orb lamp, they call it, and it looks like the moon when you plug it in. I'm not going to plug it in because the plug is warped, and I worry that something might go haywire with that, which is why when I listed it for less than other people are listing it for. So whoever ends up buying this is going to have to get it rewired, but that's neither here nor there. So I'll show you a picture of it though when it is lit up, just so you can see. But it does look like the moon, and it's acrylic. It's like a textured acrylic. So when you get close to it, it kind of looks like it's got these like divots in it, and it almost looks like a little bit hairy, but that's just the way that it's supposed to be, like it's the way it was designed. And then on the bottom, it's got this like metal enamel, like white enamel base, and then a bulb inside, just a regular standard light bulb. But people have those listed anywhere from $400 to $900, or even over $900, and one just recently sold for $400. So that was really exciting for me. I went ahead and listed mine, and I listed it for $335 just because I know that, again, I don't want to encourage anybody to use it with this plug, and I put it in the notation there in the description that if you do purchase this, please get it rewired, because you can technically plug this in, but just look how bent it is. Like, I don't think that's going to end well for anybody. So yeah, so hopefully whoever buys it will get it rewired. So obviously that's going to cost a little bit of money, so that's why I listed mine for a little bit lower, but still very, very exciting find, especially having only paid like $2 for that. So yeah, again, you can find lamps that are pretty similar to this from IKEA and things like that, but people are willing to pay the higher dollar prices for the things that are genuinely vintage, especially if they are associated with a designer. So that was pretty awesome. Alright, and on to the next group of things. Okay, so obviously today is New Year's Eve, and we just had Christmas, and I had been looking for a new nativity set for a while, and I knew I wanted something glass, because glass is what I'm really excited about. And so you've heard me talk about this place before. It's a consignment shop that's pretty local to me called Second Wind Consignments, and I had been walking around and looking at different things there, and they had a few nativity sets, and they had this one in the case. And I didn't buy it when I was there. I had looked at it and considered it, but then decided against it. But then, over the next couple of days, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I just really liked the quality and the look of it and everything. So I went ahead and messaged them on Facebook, and I said, hey, do you still have that nativity set? If so, I would love to buy it, because they do sales online as well. So she sent me the invoice, I paid, and I went and picked it up the next time I was there. So I paid a total of $30 for this set, and it comes with the sheep, the donkey, Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus. Again, not something that I really researched or looked into. I just wanted it because I wanted a new nativity set, and I wanted it to be glass. But you know, after the fact, I do like to do research on the things that I have, so I went ahead and looked that up, and the sets that I've seen have sold online for close to $200. Now those sets do come with 3 wise men and the angel Gabriel in addition to all of these pieces. But still, I mean, $30 for this set is not bad at all. They just have a really nice weight to them. They're very smooth on the bottom and, you know, throughout the design. They didn't have any kind of maker's mark, so I'm not really sure where they're from. Some people were listing them as being from China. Other people were saying they were Italian. But again, I'm not sure. You can see they have like remnants of a sticker, but the stickers weren't there when I purchased the set. So yeah, that is just a gorgeous set, and I'm so happy I was able to get that for $30. And I don't plan to resell that. The only other one that I had seen online that I was thinking about was Fenton has a really nice nativity set as well. And you can get it in different colors. You can do like a cobalt blue, or you can do like a lighter blue. And I think I've even seen them in like an iridescent clear. But that set is pretty pricey as well. I think if it's pieced together, people are selling that for around $500 to $600. So I wasn't about to drop that much money on that. So yeah, for something pretty similar for $30, I was pretty excited. And you probably recognize this. So I spoke about this in my last video. This was a very exciting find for me at Goodwill. I bought this Bill Campbell pottery bowl for $6 at Goodwill, and it's a value of over $200. Well, this is a different one, and it's pretty much the exact same bowl, but I bought a second one off of eBay, and it was on a fluke auction that just, I guess nobody was really paying attention to or whatever, but the guy didn't have any kind of, what do you call it, like, he didn't have any limit on the bidding. Reserve, that's the word I was looking for. He didn't have a reserve on the auction, and he started it pretty low, I think at like $15 or something like that. So I watched the auction like a hawk, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, if nobody bids on this thing, like, I'm gonna get it for really cheap. So that's what ended up happening. I ended up being able to purchase this second Bill Campbell pottery 13-inch bowl for $45. And this one is actually new. The other one I found was used, but it still has the sticker on the back, and you can even tell compared to the other bowl that I found, there's no, like, the other one has a little bit of discoloration on the back of the unglazed portion of the bowl, but this one doesn't, and you can see his signature there, which I talked about last time as well, and just that beautiful glaze. So anyway, the reason why I bought a second one is that my plan is to hang it up here behind our couch. So right now I have my Christmas bow, and then I have these 2 crosses on either side. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is relocating the crosses to our bedroom on either side of my dresser, and I'm going to get some proper hardware to put up on the wall and hang these bowls behind the couch. And believe me, I've done tons of research on what I should use to do that, because I want to make sure they're not going to fall off the wall, because that would be heartbreaking. But yeah, I don't want to use them because I feel like they are a work of art. So I would much rather display them. So they'll probably be sitting up like this, you know, against the wall, and then you can kind of see the beauty of them as you walk by the couch. So that'll be really exciting. So yeah, that was a purchase on eBay for $45. And then there's 2 other little thrift trips that I took recently that I'll go over, and then we're going to do the solds. Okay, So next trip was a trip to Goodwill, and I didn't pick up too many things, but I got two things that I was pretty excited about. So the first thing is more going to be for my personal use, but it's just this really nice orange glazed vase. And it didn't really have a maker on that, but it's got feet on the bottom of it, and it's just really a lovely color. And it also came with this really nice fake greenery, which was a plus for me because I can't keep any plants alive. So I'm going to be displaying that in my home. And then the second and very much more exciting thing was this book. Now, I usually don't look at the books for resale, but something just told me to go over and check them out. And it is this brand new sealed book. It's a Bob Dylan retrospectrum, which, if you didn't know, Bob Dylan is an artist as well as a musician. So, and yes, I'm talking about that Bob Dylan. So, this book is huge, and it's got basically like a whole collection of his work in here, along with some biographical information on him, and just like the history of some of his pieces of art. So I thought that was really nice, and the fact that it was sealed was really exciting. So I only paid $5 for that, and it comes from the Frost Art Museum. And, oh sorry, I paid $10 for the vase, by the way. But anyway, the book was only $5. And when it was online at the museum, it was selling for about $150 a couple years ago, because I think this is like a 2022 book, or it might even be 2021. But anyway, they're sold out of that now, and the only other person online that I've seen has this specific version is asking $250, and his is used. So the fact that mine is brand new and sealed is pretty exciting. So I probably, I did list it, and I'm going to probably list it for higher than him, just to see if anything happens with that. But the fact that there's only one other online and he's asking $250, that's not bad for a $5 purchase, you know. So it's pretty exciting, and I honestly didn't know that he was an artist as well as a musician until I saw this book. And then when I did research, I'm like, are we talking about the same Bob Dylan? And yes, we are. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, and then the last little bit of things, I took a short little thrifting trip with my mom. I recently saw her for the holidays, and she's got a little thrift store by her house, and she was explaining she needed to find, she was trying to find like a butter dish. So I said, hey, well, do you want to go, poke around the thrift store and see what we can find? And she said, sure. So she actually ended up finding a nice set of dishes for herself, and then I walked away with a few things that she actually ended up purchasing for me as a little Christmas gift. So I didn't even have to put any money into any of this, which was nice. But so, again, I didn't walk away with a whole lot there, but what I did find was nice enough. So the first thing was this little grouping of stuff in a baggie, which if you've gone to some Goodwills and some thrift stores, they do baggies of things, which I don't personally like because a lot of times the stuff gets damaged because it's just kind of like knocking around in there. But thankfully, these didn't have too much damage on them. So these are Franciscan Desert Rose pattern, and it's a salt and pepper shaker set, and then also this set of 2 little ashtrays. Which you can use for other things besides ashtrays. But yeah, so this, unfortunately, because of the baggie situation, one of them did end up getting a little bit of a chip on there. But so yeah, if it didn't have the chip, they would go for around $10 to $12 just for the salt and pepper shakers. But because of the chip, I'll probably list those for around $8. But the more exciting thing was these little ashtrays. And for the whole baggie, my mom paid $3.99 for the whole baggie, and the little ashtrays can go for decent money. So a set of 2 is probably closer to like a $25 to $30 value, which was really exciting. And then it just came with this weird, this conch shell, just randomly thrown in there. So, and we have like a collection of shells and stuff that we set out for summertime. So I figured that would just be nice to hold on to, because we didn't have a conch. So, and this, I didn't see any damage to this at all, surprisingly. So I'll just probably keep that as part of my seashell collection. So that was pretty neat. So yeah, $3.99 for that whole bag. And then the other thing was this beautiful fused glass platter. And I recognized it to be a Peggy Carr, which she does beautiful fused glass work. And again, it's getting like darker and darker as we go on, so I don't know if you can see it, but it's got this beautiful geometric pattern in there with all these different colors. And I looked, didn't take me that long to look to find her signature, which sometimes it does take quite a long time. Let's see, it was on one of the corners here, and she usually just signs it with initials. Yeah, here it is right here. So, again, because of how dark it is in here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's right there. It says PKG 06. So she made that in 2006, and it didn't really have like any chips or cracks. It's got some light scratching on the surface, but nothing too big of a deal. And I just really loved the colors of that. And you could, because of how colorful it is, you could match it up with pretty much any decor. So, yeah, and that was only $2.99. So that's about a $25 to $30 value as well. And then the last thing I got there was something I almost didn't walk away with, because it's one of the first things that I saw, and I walked right past it, and then I decided to get it at the very end when we circled back around, and it's this gorgeous crystal jewelry box. Hold on, I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so yeah, again, I initially walked by it because it was pretty dusty and just gross looking, and I didn't really think much of it, except that it was, you know, a nice looking jewelry box. And then I decided, you know, if I picked that up and cleaned it up, I'm sure it would come out really nice looking. So it's got this like diamond and button pattern on it, and it's got like an octagonal shape, and it's hinged. It's got this hinged lid, and opens up, and you can see I've got my jewelry in there. But yeah, it's got really nice look to it. And that was $5. And yeah, I just, again, not something that I thought too much of when I picked it up. But then I took it home and did the research again, and people are selling these for over $100 on eBay. So that was also really exciting. But I think because of the fact that I got it with my mom, and she technically bought it for me and everything, I think I'm going to be holding on to it for a little bit, just because I really appreciate the look of it and the quality. So, you know, eventually I might let it go, but for now, that's on my nightstand holding my jewelry. So, but yeah, either way, I even texted her later. I was like, hey, thanks for the really nice high-end gift, and I showed her the comps, and she said, oh wow, that's awesome. So we were both very excited about our finds. So yeah, so that was everything that I bought from the end of October until the end of the year. And now we're going to go into the solds. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, and happy new year. And I will see you guys in 2024. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.